My name is brigita. I'm from class 6B. Here I'm going to talk about the chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3 of analysis, the figurative language in the song Scars to You Beautiful by Alicia Cara. This is table of content. Chapter 1, Introduction. 1.1, the background of the study. 1.2, the problem of the study. 1.3, the objective of the study. 1.4, the scope of the study. Chapter 2, review or relate literature. 2.1, types of figurative language. 2.1.1, simile. 2.1.2, personification. 2.1.10, hyperbole. 2.1.4, metaphor. 2.1.5, symbolism. 2.2, types of meaning. 2.2.1, denotative meaning. 2.2.2, connotative meaning. Chapter 3, methodology. 3.1, research method. 3.2, source of the data. Point 1, the background of the study. The background of the study provides context to the information that you are discussing in your paper. Typically, the background of a study includes a review of the existing literature on the area of your research, leading up to your topic. In learning and understanding language, people do not only understand the form of language, but also the meaning it. There are many ways people delivering their idea to other people, so that people can understand and catch the meaning of the idea. One of the ways that can be used is by song. Many people figure out their ideas and feelings into a song. There are many messages delivered in a song. Through song, people can convey his voice to many people, so that people can know his feelings and ideas. Currently, many songs can express our feelings, such as songs with themes of love, social, political, and others. In this time, people can speak to others through song. When the process of listening to the song is in good focus, the listeners will be able to catch the meaning easily. On the other hand, when the listeners are not in good focus, they will get difficulty in understanding the meaning of the lyric. When the lyric use figurative language, therefore, one of the ways to know the true meaning that contained in figurative language is using content analysis. In the song Scars to You Beautiful by Alicia Cara, use personification and metaphors to help draw the connection between humans and the world, while also exploring the theme of woman's self-esteem. In the song Scars to You Beautiful, the line "But there's a hope that's waiting for you in the dark" contains figurative language in the form of personification. Cara used personification to make hope seem like an actual person for the listeners to relate. The effect of this device can be that it makes the listener visualize a dark room and makes them think of hope as a friend. Hope can be seen as a friend because in this line, Cara describes hope waiting for you in the dark, which can be a very hard time. This song displays several simile that are great emphasis on the song's rhythmic flow. Alicia has widely used simile in the song Scars to You Beautiful as way of in motivating people lacking self-confidence to their challenge such as illness, accident, and natural disabilities. 1.2, the problem of study. The problem of study is a specific issue, difficulty, contradiction, or gap in knowledge that you will aim to address in your research. When writing your research proposal or introduction, you will have to formulate it as a problem statement and or a research question. So, the problems of study is research are: what the figurative language in song Scars to You Beautiful by Alicia Cara? 2. What the meaning in song Scars to You Beautiful by Alicia Cara? 1.3, the objective of study. In general, research objectives describe what we expect to achieve by a project. Research objectives are usually expressed in lay terms and are directed as much to the client as to the researcher. The objective in this research is to find out the figurative language in song Scarcely Beautiful by Alicia Cara, and to convey the meaning in songs Scarcely Beautiful by Alicia Cara. 1.4 The scope of study. The scope of the study refers to the boundaries within which your research project will be performed. This is sometimes also called the scope of research. To define the scope of the study is to define all aspects that you will be considered in your research project. So, the research focuses on the sound, lyrics, structure, and message contained in the songs are what fuel the researcher to conduct a symbolic and figurative language analysis. 1.5 The significance of the study. The significance of the study is a section in the introduction of your thesis or paper. Its purpose is to make clear why your study was needed and the specific contribution your research made to the furthering academic knowledge in your field. By analyzing use of representation theory by Stuart Hall, particularly constructionist approach supported by figure of speech and cinematography, it allows the researcher to reconstruct meaning of the beauty, figurative language in the song lyric, and finally called redefine the meaning of beauty through its representation in lyric and music video. Further, this research will become a new view about beauty ideals as it is represented in Scarcely Beautiful. Chapter 2 Review of the Related Literature. 2.1 Types of Figurative Language. Figurative language refers to the use of words in a way it deviates from the conventional order and meaning in order to convey a complicated meaning, colorful writing, clarity, or evocative comparison. According to M.Hum, figurative language is a conspicuous departure from what users of a language apprehend as the standard meaning of words, or else the standard order of words, in order to achieve some special meaning or effect. The most familiar figurative language which is analyzed in this study is simile, personification, hyperbole, metaphor, and symbolism. 2.1.1 Simile. Simile is a literary term where you use like or as to compare two different things and show a common quality between them. A simile is different from a simple comparison in that it usually compares two unrelated things. For example, she looks like you is a comparison, but not a simile. On the other hand, she smiles like the sun is a simile, as it compares a woman with something of a different kind, the sun. According to Grace Karoff in the books entitled Diction and Style, simile is a comparison that is explicit. What is meant by the comparison that is explicit is that it implies the same things with another thing. 2.1.2 Personification. Personification is a figure of speech in which an idea or thing is given human attribute and feelings or is spoken of if it were human. Personification is a common form of metaphor in that human characteristics are attributed to non-human things. For example, the vine danced in the tree. The example used personification to provide imagery for the wine's effect on the tree. The wine can literally dance, as a human can. Therefore, the phrase is figurative and the wine is personified. Personification is a type of metaphor in which a lifeless object an animal of abstract idea made to act like a person, and the third we give animation, vividness and nearness to things which are normally thought of as impersonal and allow from human affairs or giving human characteristics to an object, animal, or an abstract idea. 2.1.3 Hyperbole. Hyperbole is a figure of speech in which an author of speaker purposely and absurdly, example, she's going to die of embarrassment. This exaggerates to an extreme. It is used for emphasis or as a way of making a description more creative and humorous. It is important to note that hyperbole is not meant to be taken literally. The audience knows it. 2.1.3 Hyperbole. Hyperbole is a figure of speech in which an author or speaker purposely and absurdly, example, she's going to die of embarrassment. This exaggerates to an extreme. It is used for emphasis or as a way of making a description more creative and humorous. It is important to note that hyperbole is not meant to be taken literally. The audience knows it's an exaggeration. For those not mean that the girl is going to get sick or that her heart will stop due to embarrassment. According to Paseko, Mariana and Pezit Levin stipulate that hyperbolical expression from figure of speech whose statement contain exaggeration and strong impassion not mean literal understanding. 1.4 Metaphor. Metaphor is a common figure of speech that makes a comparison by directly relating one thing to another unrelated thing. Unlike simile, metaphors do not use words such as like or as to make comparisons. For example, she was a rock star at our last business presentation. This is probably not referring to a literal rock star falling from space or the other common metaphor, a musician performing at a rock concert. According to Macmillan, are the figures of speech that directly compares one object to another that is in different class. 2.1.5 Symbolism. Symbolism is a representation of an idea or theme using symbols. They can be objects, colors, or general expression. The music itself is symbolic of emotion, good and bad feelings, dreams, and message. It is to convey the specific meaning to the listener and reader. For example, mirror on the wall. Here we are again. The symbol in this verse is a mirror. Here the mirror symbolizes the darkness and light in us. This reflection of good and the bad that we see within us guide us to be a better human being. Standing in front of the mirror reflection our thoughts daily is good. According to Croft, describes symbolic language in art composition. 2.2 Types of meaning. There are a lot of types of meaning including lexical, grammatical, and contextual meaning, referential and non-referential meaning, denotative and connotative meaning, conceptual and associative meaning, and lexeme. Analyzed in this study is denotative and connotative meaning. 2.2.1 Connotative meaning. Connotative meaning is the communicative value of an expression over and above its purely conceptual content. It is something that goes beyond more reference of a word and hints at its attribute in the real world. It is something more than the dictionary meaning. According to Relic, connotation refers to the personal aspects of meaning, the emotional association that the word arouses. connotation of individuals have common experience. Some people has a shared word connotation. Accordingly, says connotative meaning is the communicated value and expression has a virtue of what it refers to, over and purely conceptual content, so that it can be interpreted that connotative meaning is the meaning that gives rise to more expression based on what is meant more than the conceptual meaning itself or its denotative meaning. For example, if we call the word polish, the connotative meaning refers to the meaning of strong, and when we say the teacher refers to the meaning. 2.2.2 Denotative meaning. According to Sari and Kusumawardhani, the difference between denotative meaning and connotative meaning is denotative meaning that are real meanings in accordance with the dictionary, directly interpreting words, phrase, and sentences accordingly. However, connotative meaning is the meaning of words, phrases, and sentences that are in accordance with suggestion of the order. The writer used descriptive qualitative method in this study. The aim of descriptive qualitative method is to describe a place, fact, and characteristic of population systematically, factually, and accurately. Descriptive qualitative method employs technique of seeking, collecting, and analyzing data. 3.2 The sources of the data. A data source may be the initial location where data is born and where physical information is first gathered. However, even the most refined data may serve as a source, as long as another process exists and utilizes it. In order to make the analysis easier, the researcher needs to reuse the source of data. The source of data is song Lyrics of Scars to You Beautiful by Alicia Cara. The writer chose this song because this is one of the most popular and the writer's favorite song. The concept of songs mostly about self-love and body image. Alicia Cara wrote this song to inform to the people that have struggled and still is with their body image, and also describe that you soul